It is Rey Skywalker's Sunday evening. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi. Let us turn our attention to the latest iteration of very easy meditation. We begin with our first of 4 phases of mindful crease counting. The luxury electric vehicle of mindfulness and meditation traverses the smooth road afforded us by Anu Yoga's energy work. Now, there are many flavors of energy work. My favorite would have to be mudra or finger gesture-oriented energy work. Allow me to explain. Over the span of 12 inhalations, we could advance our right thumb as follows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If we wanted to, we could multiply that by 12, not by counting inhalations on our left hand, but by counting sets of 12 inhalations. 1, 2, 3 sets, 4, 5, 6 sets, 7, 8, 9 sets, 10, 11, 12 sets of 12 inhalations. Now, since this is our first collection of 144 inhalations, we could keep track of that by resting the great knuckle at the base of our right little finger upon the tip of our left little finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our subtle energy to gather in the bladder region of our lower abdomen. Now, at first blush, this could sound rather complex. However, allow me to remind you that repetition is a mother of skill. Come to these live streams every 12 hours, and within a week or two, you could master the Buddha's Eightfold Path. What's so big about that? What's so special about that? Because the all enlightenment is mastering the Eightfold Path. But what do we mean by mastery? No infant is born knowing how to use the toilet, tie their shoes, brush their teeth, or ride a bike. And yet, mysteriously, by the time most children enter first grade, not only can they do those things, but they do those things so well that they perform them spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. And within a week or two, we could practice the Buddha's Eightfold Path to such a degree of mastery. Why? Why is that? Because the 7th fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path is mindfulness, and the 8th fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path is meditation. And when we practice these correctly every 12 hours or so, we can't help but generate mastery of the remaining 6 folds. That is my thesis, and I plan to demonstrate this to you over the span of this evening's live stream. Let us view mindfulness and meditation through the lens of neuroscience after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I've spent about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that you would not have to. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. And now, as promised, please chant with me. The nudity of the archetypical couple sporting and tantric union reminds us of the vulnerability so crucial to mindfulness. Sturgeon's law reminds us that 90% of everything sucks. Since the Neolithic revolution, humanity has been plagued, has been conditioned to be rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel to such a degree that we will actually denigrate those who strive to be flexible, loving, rational, laid back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. So, when someone who is rigid tries to teach other people how to meditate, it is as if they cannot help themselves and implore their students to actively focus and actively analyze. Now, here's the rub. The only neural pathways in our brain capable of focus and analysis are those discrete neural pathways found in such regions as our medial or dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. So what? So this. Overwork your prefrontal cortex and you will trigger your amygdala, the seat of anxiety and aggression. Show of hands. Who wants more anxiety and aggression? Nobody. Nobody wants more anxiety and aggression. In fact, the reason we express interest in meditation because we want less anxiety and aggression and we want more peace and love. Good news, guys. The central nervous system is comprised of more than just our amygdala and our prefrontal cortex. Consider, if you will, mindfulness. Every time we inhale, whether we know it or not, we automatically access the sympathetic nervous system ensconced within the middle third of our spinal cord. This bad boy has evolved to help us notice in a very special way. To help us notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. But notice what? Notice mind's antics of perception. You know, seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, smelling, and the like. You know, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, imagination, that type of thing. Now, this could seem like a tall order. So I've got a hook for you to hang your hat on. Simply, silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation, and your brain can't help but begin cooperating with your sympathetic nervous system. But, you might ask, this could feel overwhelming. What are we to do with all these things that we notice? Enter meditation. You see, every time we exhale, whether we know it or not, we are already wired by evolution to automatically access the parasympathetic nervous system divided between the lower third and the upper third of that same spinal cord. Our parasympathetic nervous system has evolved to support both physical relaxation as well as mental release. To the point that what we perceived during our previous inhalation could literally feel less impermanent, and as such figuratively feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Now, any self-respecting English teacher would remind us that a simile is only as powerful as it is relatable. So we have to ask, what is a real-world example of a non-graspable, vast empty void? How about the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although is tantalizing to the eye, is intangible to the hand? And so the first of 4 fringe benefits of regularly playing with mindfulness and meditation is that we experience the right view of literal impermanence and figurative emptiness. Now, enough of my jibber-jabber. Let us meditate together as a team right now. Allow me to remind you that the Buddha taught that the fourth enlightenment factor is joy. If the path we are treading has got us so rigid that if we fell on a piece of coal we would poop out a diamond, then in the words of Bugs Bunny, we have taken a wrong turn at Albuquerque. Good evening, and welcome to the second of 4 phases of mindful crease counting. I've just got to make sure that the microphone's behaving itself. So allow me to explain how this works. Over the span of 12 inhalations, we could advance our right thumb in the following manner, beginning with our little finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, if we want to multiply this by 12, not 12, we can use our left hand not to count 12 more repetitions, but to count 12 sets of 12 repetitions each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 sets of 12 inhalations each. Now you might say, what about the exhalations? The reason we mention the inhalations is because it's during the inhalation that we advance our thumb. Now, this is our second collection of 144 inhalations. We keep track of this second collection by resting the great knuckle at the base of our right ring finger upon the tip of our left ring finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so gently invites our subtle energies to coalesce in the navel region of our mid-abdomen. Yes, this could seem a little ungainly, but repetition is the mother of skill. Come to these live streams every 12 hours or so, and within a week or two, you could master this path. Please chant with me. The translucence of the all-good Father and Mother depicted in paintings reminds us of meditation's experience of impermanence and non-graspability. Quick review. The key to mindfulness is to, let's try this again. The key to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly noticing mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination is to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation. The key to relaxing into mind's non-graspable nature is to silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation. Perform this mindfulness and meditation every 12 hours or so, and before you know it, you could observe the calming of your amygdalas, anxiety and aggression, the same anxiety and aggression that, if gone untreated, could fuel intentional cruelty, communication cruelty, cruel conduct, and a type of commerce that is as competitive as it is cruel. This is the second of 4 benefits that come from regularly training in mindfulness and meditation. Let's practice. So during each inhalation, we are already wired to sit as tall as if there was a vertical traction between our skull and our tuchus. During each exhalation, we're wired to gently relax. I'd like to take a moment to perform a yoga pose that helps me maintain my posture. Its English translation is bridge pose. So let's do that for a moment. Fabulous. Oi. Well, that's silly, isn't it? Okay. Whew. Whew. All right. We come now to the third of 4 phases of mindful crease counting. Please chant with me. The beauty of sky blue kuntu zong po and cloud wet kuntu zong mo yam yum reminds us of the highest love, spontaneous and uncontrived. So, in an effort to keep track of our next 8 sets of 8 repetitions, over the span of 8 inhalations, we could advance our right thumb thusly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We could multiply these 8 inhalations by 8 sets, counted on our left hand. 1, 2 sets of 8 repetitions each. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sets of 8 repetitions each. This is our third collection. So to keep track of that, we could rest the great knuckle at the base of our right middle finger, palm the tip of our left middle finger, palms up in our lap. Now, if this strikes you as more than a trifle complicated, that's okay. Remember, repetition is the mother of skill. Come to these live streams once every 12 hours for a week or two, and you could master this system. Holding our hands, working with our middle knuckle in the way I described it but a few seconds ago, could gently invite our subtle energies to coalesce in the heart region of our chest. Before I explain the third benefit of regularly playing with mindfulness and meditation, I'd like to remind you that the easiest way to practice, the easiest way to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination is to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation. What are we to do with all these things that we notice? We meditate. And the easiest way to relax into mind's non-graspable nature, the non-graspable nature of mind and all that mind notices, is to silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation. Do that long enough, and you will notice that the stimulation of your anterior cingulate gyrus, that which functions as the hub of our mirror neurons, the seat of empathy, which is the root of compassion and love. This is why the late Tukul Tandap insisted that the highest love is not the product of contrived concentrations or contemplations, but rather the highest love was the spontaneous and uncontrived fringe benefit of mindfulness and meditation. Therefore, training in mindfulness and meditation will set us up to experience kind intention, kind communication, kind conduct, and the type of commerce which is as compassionate as it is cooperative. So together as a team, let us practice right now. We come now to our fourth and final phase of mindful crease counting. Over the span of 12 inhalations, we could advance our right thumb in the following manner, beginning with our left little finger. Our right little finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We could multiply this by counting not additional repetitions on our left hand, but instead sets of 12 inhalations each. 1, 2, 3 sets of 12 inhalations. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. To keep track of this, our fourth collection of 144 breaths, we could rest the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger upon the tip of our left index finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our subtle energies to coalesce at the crown region of our head. Please chant with me. The stability with which Aglus Mandra sits, and the abandon with which Cloud-White Mandri sports, reminds us of the effortless effort of centered spontaneity. What is the most efficient way to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination? To silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation. And what is the most effective way to relax into the non-graspable nature both of mind as well as that which mind notices? That would be to silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation. I would like to share with you now the fourth benefit of regularly playing with mindfulness and meditation. Do so, and you will find that your choices, utterances, and deeds begin to flow from the effortless effort of love's centered spontaneity. No, not the scattered spontaneity of the so-called good idea we think we have after throwing back 4 consecutive espressos, but rather the centered spontaneity that comes from playing with mindfulness in meditation. Whoops, wrong button. Let's try that again. There we go. So together as a team, let's meditate. May we joyfully relax into the perfect imperfection of our Buddha nature. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 11 hours or so, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's early morning meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.